Good evening, Raskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Basically, in this video, I'm going to look at all the skins of the current Restore, make comparisons to the previous Restore skins, to get a good idea in regards to, well, how much are each of these skins likely to sell by next Thursday? And then knowing that, we'll then start questioning, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back, relax, I'm going to start yapping. So here's the first 24 hours of sales. It was a big Restore, pretty impressive, interesting variety, and, well, of course, some very interesting sequels, continuations of notable collections. Heatseeker collection has, well, it's got a bit mad. I have made a video and uploaded it today. I've talked about it pretty in depth, but I have made this point already. You see that Heatseeker MP5 right there of 19,549 subscribers? Yeah, that's a pretty ridiculous start. If you compare it to the AK-47, the AK, after 7 days in the Restore, did 19,200 subscribers. But that's pretty alarming, yeah. So, really kind of sets the tone that MP5 is it's got a bit ridiculous. And initially, I thought that was going to match up fairly close to the sales that the SAR did. But things do look different now. So we'll talk more about that in a bit, don't you worry. Now, with this Restore, we saw some interesting acceptances, like a rocket launcher here, the Black Ops rocket launcher. We don't get many of them accepted anymore, do we? So, okay. Black Ops collection consists of weapons. Look, they all look cool, they look nice. The prices haven't been super great. But then again, rocket launchers with the scarcity of options, I guess you could say, the lack of acceptances as of recent, perhaps that might work out quite nicely. Well, let's also find out what the sales are and then, of course, make some considerations. Dart wheel, spinning wheel. Wait, what? Spinning wheels? Yeah, first ever skin to be accepted for it. Okay. Have you bought one for yourself? Have you been throwing stuff at it? But I have to question, like, is there going to be good demand for it? Are people actively going to want one? Is it potentially going to sell too much as well? Are we even going to see another spinning wheel skin being accepted ever again? Well, there's a lot of things to talk about. Garage door, selling quite nicely, but I can't help but assume we'll keep getting more and more garage doors. Popstar SAR actually selling quite nicely as well, considering that a ridiculous amount of SARs was, purchased the previous week, that being the Heatseeker SAR. Tiger Tier 3 is selling a little bit too much compared to the hoodie and pants. Might be bad, might not be too bad. We'll talk more about you. B-Box doing alright, SAP's doing alright. Deep Ruby Tier 2 only selling about 3,000 subscribers. That is kind of surprising. Well, if we see a continuation, Tier 3, hoodie and pants, well, I think that'll be spiking up a price ever so nice. So, okay, first 24 hours of sales, looking interesting. What about the first 48 hours of sales? Now, I had to point this out. I am recording this a little bit later, but based on what I see here, yeah, I can give you a good idea in regards to how much each of these are going to sell, of course, by next Thursday. So, looking at all across here, the sales have been looking pretty good. Overall, looks like Face Punch will be printing a lot of money. But, come on now, let's just jump straight into it. Heatseeker MP5. How much is that actually going to reach? So if we could just quickly go over to here, and if I could just point out this video. So I was on stream yesterday, we were talking about this, and after yapping for about an hour, talking about like the Heatseeker collection, my expectations and whatnot, and warning people, I was like, you know what? This needs to be a video. It needs to be a video. So I did just that. I recorded everything. I was keeping track of the listings on the SAR, and of course, when it hit 1 o'clock in the morning, we knew more SARs would then be eligible to be listed on the Steam market. And that they did. At one point, we had about 50 listings, and then when the new wave were listed, it went all the way up to about 150 at one point. If I was to go over here and take a look right now, I do believe we have. Oh yeah, there you go. 251. Cool. It's not $12 anymore, is it? No. Where do all the barders go? What do you think? So we'll talk more about that in a second, but here's the issue. The sales are ridiculous, but it's somewhat justified. Both the SAR and the MP5 have ridiculous transparent aim sights. Nothing compares to them. I will confirm that I honestly do believe that both of them will stay in the positive, but they're not going to hold those ridiculously high prices that, the SAR was at initially. So that went all the way up to $12, but of course, didn't manage to retain it, did it? So I could ramble. Honestly, just go ahead, watch this video. You'll basically understand all of my thoughts and concerns, and then you can look at the listings for the SAR right now and realise, always right, always correct there. And basically, the MP5 is looking like it is going to be selling more. I mean, look at that. It's already got 36,000. I go over to here, and then you see that this only just about almost reached 39,000. Oh no, MP5, you're going too far. So initially, I thought that was going to probably do about 40,000 subscribers. A little bit less, a little bit more, close to the SAR. But looking at the momentum this has into the second day, that's doing between 50 to 60,000 subscribers. Now, if I were to compare to something that was still in demand, but sold a ridiculous amount, I think I've got the listings already prepared here. What's that? Blackout Burlap. Complete the sets, November 2024. Blackout Burlap was accepted. Everybody wanted it. It's still in demand to this day. People adore it, like it, appreciate it. Blackout collection skins tend to do very, very nicely. Usually always staying in the positive. And this is right now. That sold at 99 cents. That's now $1.15. One sale, it's back up to $1.29. Point is, it didn't stonk. It didn't go ridiculously high because, as you can see, a lot of listings are there. Oh, look, 135. Wonderful. But this is the issue. This is going to affect the SAR, and this is inevitably going to affect the MP5 potentially even worse. They will be in demand. They will be selling quite a lot ridiculously every single day, but don't expect them to go up super high. So yeah, the SAR did initially. What with the MP5 being accepted literally the very next Rust store? The point is, right, there will be more people who are buying in excess with a pure intent to sell. Some people will probably buy 10 extra, 50 extra, 100, even 1,000. And they're going to throw them on the Steam market and the third-party sites. And at some point, they're all going to be trying to get a sale in. They'll undercut each other, and the prices will go down. Buy orders will be sold to and whatnot. And that's what I'm seeing. Oh, look, it's gone now below a 5. Oh, great, wonderful, awesome. All the buy orders are disappearing. Your price is just going down. Yeah. So, that right there, if that's going to do between 50 to 60,000 subscribers, it's going to probably be stuck at around $3 to $4 potentially in the future. Throughout the summer, I do expect nice things still. I expect potentially even more skins being accepted. Oh, what's this over on the workshop? Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a Thompson, which also has transparency. Now, it's not as ridiculous compared to like the SAR and the MP5, but it's as much as you can with a Thompson. It's basically like the Dylan Zito and Latara. I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm so sorry. But you know the white Twitch drop Thompson we got last year? It's basically the exact same thing. So, okay, cool. You could just consider looking at my recent, the video here. I showcase it. There's a chapter for it. Yep, cool. So consider giving that a good look, and I do the comparison. Anyway, I do think the Thompson will be accepted. There's no 100% guarantee, but I would expect so with the sales and whatnot. I think Face Punch would be foolish not to do it. Anyway, MP5. You are going to sell a ridiculous amount, but at least it's abnormal. So, to all those people who are probably still unaware of what abnormals are, please consider going to my YouTube right now and look at my most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video for May 22, 2025. That is the video where we race after, or rather chase after, the Heatseeker SAR. So, I'll sit here, discuss prices and whatnot, but we know exactly when that skin's going to become marketable. Because yes, abnormals become marketable before the Rust even rotates. So you can watch the first 5 minutes of this video, skip ahead to the bar that says the buy orders, and you'll see us do all of them. And afterwards, we look at the abnormal barter support. We look and see how many barders each skin has, how high does the price go, and then we question, hang on a minute, does it look like it's going to be confidently retaining its value? The SAR did, the Armour Double Door did, and I actually went ahead and bought some myself. So this is what you should consider doing, because that's definitely something we're going to have to look at. Again, I wouldn't be surprised the barter's got to up to $3 for that. But it's more of a case of, okay, it might do quite all right during the summer, but, it might be anchored down and never really achieving a very high price. And then what happens when we go through the bear times again? Summertime is good. Many skins are expected to reach new all-time highs at some point during the summer, normally July and August. But when we go through October time, or more specifically September, October, November, The autumn fall seasonal dip, many prices drop off because there's less people playing. Kids go back to school, basically. But in most cases, the lowest point is usually happening around October time. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You might have bought some of these already. That's fine. You'll still be able to sell them for a profit. Not a ridiculous profit, I'm expecting. But if you just wait until October time, you could probably pick those back up. And chances are, it might go below its extra price around then. Okay? It very likely might. But that would be its lowest point. Wait until December, January time, post-Christmas 2026. Oh, look, loads of people have time off because of Christmas. Loads of people playing Rust again. Increased demand for skins all over again. New all-time high prices again. So, yeah, you could easily do a nice flip. So, Heatseeker MP5, it's a bit generalised, but yeah, 50 to 60,000 subscribers. Madness, but kind of justified. Everybody wants that super useful, transparent aim sight. Nothing compares to it. So, cool. Black Ops rocket launcher. So at the very least, I could actually go over to here and I can do like an actual comparison because, this did a respectable amount of sales, didn't it? 10,700 subscribers. I could just go over to here and look, oh, look, there's the Armored Double Door with 10,560, and then over to here we've got the Jungle Tomb Sleeper Bag with 10,700. This is going to be easy, so I'll just go do this. So, yep, 25,000, and then over to here, what do I see? Oh, 26,000. So that was pretty easy to figure out. 23 to 26,000 subscribers is my estimate. That is quite a lot. Let's just take a look at all the rocket launchers, for example. Let's go see the highest subscribers, and honestly, yep, that will be the highest selling skin we've ever had for a rocket launcher. Okay, but do people like it? Do people, do they appreciate it? I'm looking at all these other skins, and we only have one other like black rocket launcher. It's Knock Knock, and if you're aware, that's banned. You can only get that if you happen to acquire an account that owns one. Moving on. So, okay. Maybe people do appreciate a nice sleek black design with a transparent aim sight and whatnot. Feel free to comment below. Do you like it? Black Ops collection, though. We've just got to quickly take a look at this. For what you can see, the collection isn't exactly doing super great. The AK and the SAR have dropped off. Revolver's doing alright, but that's a revolver. Revolver skins are super reliable. I can't sit here and say a rocket launcher is going to be super reliable. We haven't had that many accepted in quite a while. In theory, you'd think that'd be alright. But the recent Easter skin, I can't tell if it's based on the fact that people just don't like it. It's made of chocolate. How could you not like it? But yeah, that's not doing very good. That's it's half the price it's sold for. I'm under the impression that this still might likely still go down in price. So that's a bit of a concern, isn't it? Yep. It's abnormal though. So we'll do that first. We'll do the abnormal borders. We'll look at the support afterwards, and then we'll make considerations. But I don't know. I'm having doubts. But the summertime, yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out. But yes, I could do the abnormal borders first at the very least. And of course, keep an eye out what the skin creator's going to work on next. Another weapon, deplorables, clothing armor, or keep an eye on a workshop. Okay then. So let's now talk about the dart wheel. The first ever spinning wheel skin we've seen being accepted. Now, I've said this already, but you've got to really see this for yourself. There's been many attempts at spinning wheel skins, but only so many of them have been actual genuine attempts. I'm looking at the most recent skins here. Yeah, that's what we normally see. So, yeah, a lot of that's low effort. This was a genuine effort. This is an awesome looking design, and I'm sure a lot of you have been throwing spears at them. Low pipe with darts, shooting at them and whatnot. What else have you been throwing at them? I don't know if this will always be in demand, though. However, I really don't think we'll be seeing another spinning wheel skin, potentially ever. But I could see a Twitch drop. Do you reckon we'll probably see a Twitch Rivals spinning wheel or something like that? I don't think people care about that one then. But it's got the darts. You can actually have fun with it. And technically speaking, you could do a little bit of wagering because it's got the numbers all around, odds and evens. You could have yourself a little mini bandit camp on the server if you so wish. So, okay. Right then. So, I want to ask you, yes, you the viewer, can you tell me, did you actually buy one? Are you actually using it? Are you liking it? Because it's just novelty, isn't it? It doesn't really do anything except spin. But it's cool. It looks nice. It's a nice thing to have on the side if you like to decorate. I think people will appreciate it. And again, if it's the only skin we have, by default, I can't help but assume a lot of people probably want it and like it and appreciate it. But that's no guarantee it's going to be a success. No guarantee it's going to be perfectly fine. And, well, let's go over to here, talk about the sales, because if we could just go ahead and find out, this did slightly less compared to the Black Ops rocket launcher. And honestly, if I look at it again over to here, it's not that too far off, but I'm going to sit here and say I think this is going to do between 20 to 23,000 subscribers. Yeah, I can see it dropping off to that amount, but like I can see it selling quite a fair bit. Now, 20,000, that is quite a lot. I don't know if that's too much or too little. Again, kids are about to leave school. There's going to be summer vacation. How many of them are aware of that? Are they going to suddenly want it when they see it? Summer sales just around the corner. Brand new people jumping into Rust. Maybe they'll like that as well. And again, if there's no other spinning wheel skin, maybe people will appreciate it. So we'll leave it at that. It's debatable, but that's also not abnormal. That's a problem. So Wednesday night, we're just going to have to sit there and make a decision. I think I will just stick with a buy order. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, 20 to 23,000 subscribers. Forbidden Mayan Temple garage door. So this has still sold quite a fair bit. Now, if I was to look and see, oh, look, it's got 7,600 subscribers. I wonder if there's anything else that did 7,000. Oh, look, there you go. Look, the Heatseeker SAR. Oh, that's got to be a perfect thing to compare to. No. But what I will do is look at the Neon Exit garage door and the Firefly's wood storage box. They had like 100 more there. It's like 100 less. I feel like that's the perfect thing to compare to because I could go in between. And if I could just look at the previous week, what do we see? That reached 17,600, and this reached 19,000. Okay. That seems reasonable. I think I might bump it up to 20,000, so 17 to 20,000 subscribers. Okay. This is a garage door. Now, there's nothing wrong with the design. It looks pretty cool. It's a very interesting, foreboding design. And I'm aware the skin creator has produced like a large box. We could very likely see a deployable collection being built up. But I am I'm a little bit unsure of the garage doors at the moment. What makes you say that? In just this month of May 2025, we have had 7 garage doors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we've got next week as well. So, point I'm trying to get across is we are easily on track to potentially beating the all-time highest sales in a single year for garage doors. Last year it was 34. We're only just about halfway through this year, and we're already at 18. Do they look super good at the moment? No. They're all down in price. So this is actually something I'll be talking about in an actual proper video. I was actually wanting to do it yesterday, recording it, but the Heatseeker collection stuff kind of got in the way. So, but yeah, I will talk about this a lot more. But yeah, that with 17 to 20,000 subscribers still is quite a lot, and I can't help but assume it's going to follow suit with all the other garage doors and go down in price. Very sorry to say, but lots of very cool looking designs are constantly being produced. But it's hard for them to maintain interest, and they drop off and they lose their value pretty easily. And there will be even more garage doors being introduced and whatnot. So it only makes things a little bit more awkward. Yeah, so not feeling that confident. It's abnormal though, but yeah. Popstar SAR. So of course with the previous week I thought, Popstar SAR might not sell that much after so many people bought that. And yet Popstar SAR is still selling quite nicely. And I should point out, Popstar weapons are doing pretty nicely as well. Whilst it looks red here, if I go take a look at the actual Steam pages, the AK is now sitting here at $3.29, and the Thompson is now sitting here at $2.84. They are actually both in the positive, and it's most likely due to the fact that another skin was accepted. Now, rarely do we see a weapon-only collection work out quite nicely, but Popstar has had these moments. People do seem to appreciate the cute anime girl on the skin. So, okay. I have been seeing other skins being produced by RR3. I can't help but assume we'll keep seeing more and more of these being made and potentially accepted. I still stand by the idea that we should get some tier 3. Anime girl tier 3. I know a lot of you will sit there and say, I don't want that. I don't need that. I hate that. But if it was to be accepted, you'll buy it. Oh, you'll buy it. Oh, the people playing Rust will be anime girls in the summer. Anyway, so I actually think that'll work out quite nicely. It might dip a bit here and there, but when you look at all the SARs that have been accepted so far this year, excluding that, they're all down to like $1. They've all halved in price. That, at the very least, hey, all right, maybe at your worst you might go down by about like 10%. I don't think that's that bad. And again, it's $2.49. Abnormal. We could do buy orders. So looking at that, it's looking like it's actually going to work out quite nicely. The amount of sales, though, well, let's go ahead and take a look. So 6,000 subscribers, maybe a little bit more. Do we have anything we could compare to? You could look at the Tile Road Sun gloves. Is there anything else we could compare to? You could maybe look at the Aztec Garage Store. What about anything else? Not there. That's too, all of those other things got bought out too much. You could look at the two weapons here. So that's April 24. All right then. So April 24 and tire gloves. Let's go over to take a look at those. So with the previous week, the tire gloves, what did 15,000? Yep, 15,000 subscribers. And April 24, these two weapons, 14, 15, 16. There you go. So 14 to 16, including the gloves. So basically 14 to 16,000 subscribers seems like the actual suggestion. Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I think I'd be doing quite all right. All right then. Yeah. Okay. Tiger Tier 3. So, just to point out, Tiger hoodie and pants have already been accepted. Tiger boots and gloves are currently on the workshop. When this got accepted instantly, these just went from 99 cents to $4 now, apparently. Is that still the same case? Let me just check. Well, that's $3 now, and that's $3 now. Still very good, though. Still nice jump up in price. But anyway, this did 11,500 subscribers on average between the both of them. This right here, if it, let's just say this, if it did like 12 to 13,000 subscribers, if it's only like a couple thousand higher compared to the hoodie and pants, that's fine. And we still expect the boots and gloves. Tier 2, honestly, just a 2,000 difference is fine. All right? You don't have to worry too much. Now, again, if the Tier 2 sold like 11,000, okay, yeah, the Tier 3 might end up becoming the cheapest out of all of it. But it doesn't matter because Tier 2 coming out would still cause that to spike in price. So, let's just go over to here. We can see that this ended up selling 5,700, 5,600 here. But the hoodie and pants, that only did about 4,700 each. So, okay. That's a bit of a difference. Now, if I were to just quickly look at this again, I could look at the boots in comparison. Okay, well, how much did the boots do? So over to here, if I could go to the previous week, the boots ended up selling 13,758. Okay. If I go back over to here, and can I see anything else? Is there anything else that we can compare to? 5,600. Just got to see if there's anything else. Not there. Oh. Probably could look at the April door, perhaps. You could maybe look at these clothes as well. Go on then. So that's going to be April 3rd and April 10. Let's go take a look at those. So April 10, I'm looking at the it's May 1. Sorry, that would be May 24. There we go. Right. So that did 13,400 subscribers, and April 3rd, these only did 12,000 subscribers. Yeah. Okay. I think it's going to probably do between 11 to 13,000 subscribers. Might bump it up, say 11.5 to 13.5. That's fine. I'm not too concerned then. Again, if it matches up. So, all right then. If it does match up, if it ends up between those numbers, that should still be all right. So, okay, cool. Not going to complain about that. You shouldn't worry too much. And as I said, I know a lot of people want like super in demand for like this collection, but it's still a collection that's getting acceptances. And if a new core piece is accepted, it's going to spike. It's going to boost. It's going to go up in price. So yeah, it happens to the hoodie pants. It can happen to the Tier 3 as well. So, okay, cool. Not going to complain about that then. B-Box. Let's go take a look at you. And how many sales did we have? 4,000. Do we have anything to compare to? Well, we kind of do. We could go in between these two. We also happen to have the Aztec Rock Door. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We could look at those. So let's go over and take a look at the previous week and then the week before that. So, as I see over to here, the okay, that kind of changed. So 9,000 subscribers, 11,000 subscribers there, so 9 to 11, cool. And then if I go over to here, if I could look at the door, 11,000. Okay, 9 to 11,000 subscribers seems to be my estimate. I mean, that's fine. It's a B-Box. The worry is will we ever, will we see any more of it? Because, of course, there was a lot of attempts. Plenty of attempts to see some other doors being produced and accepted. It's all there, but FaceBunch just didn't bother to say yes. Maybe we'll get like a large box. Maybe we'll get like a locker or something. Keep an eye on Omnipresence Workshop. I've looked at this the wrong way. There you go. Look at this way now. There you go. I'm not sure what's going to get potentially made next, but you've got to keep an eye out. Look for yourself. I could see the small box probably working out quite nicely for the very goofy design that it is. Put that near your beehives. Okay, now it's cute. But like most small boxes, can't help but assume it might go down in price. The bee pattern very likely could carry it. So yeah, a lot of small boxes haven't been performing this year. Fireflies are doing quite right at the moment, but yeah, look at all these. Nice. Okay. CROCCO SAP. After we just had a SAP the previous week, that was green. Cool. Right, so let's go take a look at your sales. You had 3,700. And with the previous week, we do have the AK there. And then, well, you also could look at the CROCCO SAP, which had almost 3,700. Okay, you know what? That's actually perfectly fine. So we know the AK from the previous week did 9,000 almost. And then the SAP here did 9,000. Okay. 8 to 10,000. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that then. 8 to 10,000 subscribers for the CROCCO SAP. I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry about that. But yeah, a green SAP that only does 10,000 subscribers. Well, then the Ruin SAP also did 10,000, didn't it? Yeah. So what's going to happen to both of these two then, now that we just had one green skin after another? Honestly, I still think they're going to work out perfectly fine. And that quite literally is the answer. Fine. I don't expect huge stonking prices. I don't expect, like, ridiculous massive profits anytime soon. SAPs are very reliable, but they don't really go up that much. Now the Blackout's starting to improve quite nicely. Crazy Loves is also doing quite nice there, but the majority, they will most likely be in the positive, just not change that much. And you've heard me say this for the past like 3 weeks in a row, so I think you get the point now. That's not abnormal though. That's a bit of a concern, but honestly, I don't really expect it to really drop off that much. It'd actually be a perfectly fine thing to consider buying. I wouldn't say no. But you could probably still pick that up for like $1.50, and that's what I'm going to try and do. So, alright, cool. It is what it is. Now let's talk about Deep Ruby Tier 2. So, over to here. You only did 3,300, 3,400. Do we have anything to compare to? Well, we do. We had the Deep Ruby Double Barrel Shotgun. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at that then. So, over to here, we can see that the Deep Ruby Tier 2 may follow suit and only do just about 9,000 subscribers as well. Really? That did kind of catch up a fair bit, didn't it? What I'll probably sit here and say is I think this will do between 7.5... No. What was the previous one? We just said 8 to 10. Yeah, I'll go 7.5 to 9.5 7.5 to 9.5 thousand subscribers, which really isn't that much. Again, keep an eye on the workshop. You never know what's potentially coming out until you actually look. This actually caught me by surprise last week. We're talking about it as like, oh, look, there it is. Oh, maybe that get accepted. Oh, it did. Yay. So looking at this, Tier 3, hoodie and pants, boots and gloves, whatever it is, if it comes out, that's still spiked in price. We already talked about this with the hoodie and pants here. Nobody really cared about that last week, did they? And now look what happened. Drop it in price. So, point made. When a new core piece is accepted, spike them on, spike in price. Cool. Also, you could become a very nice shiny eggplant. Moving on. Right, so that's everything there. All the suggested sales are listed in the description, so you can see that next to the chapters. Right, is there anything else to talk about? Well, just to go back over to here to this video, I honestly have to ask you, consider giving this a good look. Again, this chapters, you can skip ahead, you can read the things that are being mentioned there. Like, one of the main questions was, Hedge, if you had a SAR that's marketable right now, what would you do? Well, I told the guy yesterday I'd sell it, because I can't help but assume it's going to go down in price. Lo and behold, it did. Now, there are people that are buying these out. I'm seeing it happen. There are people that keep buying these out and trying to get it back up to about $10. I don't know why they're doing that. This has sold ridiculous amounts, remember, because it might have 39,000 subscribers, but we don't actually know the actual genuine amount of sales. Again, some people probably bought 10, or 20, or 50, or 1,000, who knows? But I will sit here and say, when we get very high subscribers, we tend to see very high, ridiculous amounts of skins in circulation. So, just take that. Consider the words that I've said. There's a lot of these, I'm just saying. So, okay. Well, we'll see how it progresses. But just to remind you, the majority of the sales happened in the second half of last week. So as I did the 48-hour analysis last week, yeah, I didn't really see the change that much. It's what happened afterwards. So, yeah, that Heatseeker SAR, there's going to be a lot of listings, and there already is. On average, most skins on the Steam market only have about 100 quantity each. It's a little bit excessive now, isn't it? Other people exist, and other people are dump. Other people are dump, so you've been warned. And, yeah, let's just take a look over to here, because you can see the front page has been fixed. Yes, you can now keep an eye out and see if, like, skins are getting bought out, manipulated. It's all fixed. It's lovely to see. What a beautiful sight. Now, if you don't know what the front page of the Steam market, like, what's the importance of it, what's the usefulness of it, basically, all the skins you see here, I think it's based on average sales it normally gets, but, like, those are the top performing skins in terms of sales in the past hour. So, does that make sense? Like, I'm looking at his Ruined SAP here. Apparently, there's only 12 of them on the Steam market now. Did that just have a buyout? Probably. So, okay. 29 sales. Right. Well, you can have fun with that. Go take a look. See the random things that keep appearing. But if you see, like, a very random skin from, like, 6 years ago suddenly there, yeah, that's usually the beginnings of a manipulation. Lots of random buyouts happen here and there. So, a nice, useful thing to be aware of. Is there anything else Hedge needs to address? Well, I'll sit here and say keep an eye on the commits, as per usual. But as we get closer to the June 4 swipe, I think we're fully well aware of all the things that are going to get changed, added, and whatnot. So, floor wallpaper, industrial blue light, some minor fixes and some tweaks and whatnot. Okay, that was to be expected. It wasn't going to be a massive update. It was going to be just some, tweaks, changes and whatnot. Cool. Can't complain. Right. Anything else that could be said? I honestly don't think there's anything else. So, at the very least, I'll sit here and say, consider looking at my most recent Rust Workshop skin checks video for all the recent Rust skin submissions. That was, of course, from the previous week. But typically, you'd tend to see all the skins from like a week before getting the acceptances. Basically, all the skins that you see in this video will be in the top picks list from GDG. So, all the collections are chaptered, just saying. Alright, okay, I guess that is basically everything. Player count is reasonable, not too ridiculous, reasonable. As we get closer towards the end of the month, it does look like we will be doing better compared to April. Not insanely different, but still above 100,000. And this is the beginning of summer. This is how it starts. Will we surpass that? Will we surpass that? Shall see. So yeah, alright, pretty cool. Can't complain. Everything's alright. And of course, if I go over to the workshop, I'm noticing some other skins being submitted. Oh, Fish Tier 3 has been resubmitted. Alright then, well, keep an eye on the workshop, see what else is being submitted and whatnot. And with that, thank you very much for watching me, I greatly appreciate it. And I guess we could take a real quick look with the previous week's skins. Giggle at that, everything's in the positive as of now. But I'm pretty sure things will start to slip. Oh, there you go, that's happening. But in general, most skins should start climbing up in price now. We should start to see improvements. And that's pretty cool. I did see some people mentioning that this was up in price, but looks like it's starting to slip now. There you go. Well, okay, cool. That's that. So, best of luck with you and your investments, and we'll see how things progress. But yep, keep an eye on the SAR, keep an eye on the sales for the MP5. But if you happen to own an AK-47, I honestly think you're pretty comfy. I think you're in a very, very good spot, because that's sort of a respectable amount. And again, to learn more about how I consider the AK and whatnot, watch the video. Watch the video, alright? Do it.